Imagine a warm, freshly baked cookie with an irresistible chocolatey aroma melting in your mouth. Or a bowl of ice cream with caramel sauce dripping over the top. What happens inside you when you picture that? Does your mouth start watering? Do you suddenly crave a bite? If so, that's no coincidence. Something is happening in your brain, something that makes sweet foods nearly impossible to resist. But have you ever wondered why we crave sugar so much? How does sugar work in our bodies and brains to create such a strong urge? Let's dive in.
Sugar is everywhere.
The word sugar is just a general term for a type of molecule called carbohydrates, which can be found in almost every food and drink. If you've ever checked the label on packaged foods, you might have seen words like glucose, fructose, sucrose, maltose, lactose, dextrose, or even high fructose corn syrup. These are all forms of sugar. But here's the interesting part: sugar isn't just in sweet treats like candy and cookies. Even in seemingly healthy foods like yogurt, dried fruit, or granola bars, sugar can be hiding in amounts we don't even realize.
How sugar affects the brain.
The moment you take a bite of something sweet, the sugar inside interacts with the sweet taste receptors on your tongue. This signal is then sent to the brain through the brainstem, reaching the cerebral cortex, the part of the brain responsible for recognizing different tastes, like bitter, salty, umami, and of course, sweet. And this is where it all begins. The signal from the cerebral cortex activates the brain's reward system, a network of neural pathways that triggers feelings of pleasure whenever we do something enjoyable or beneficial for survival. Eating something sweet, your brain responds with satisfaction. That's why when we take a bite of soft chocolate cake or a cold spoonful of ice cream, we feel comforted and happy.
Why we keep craving sweetness?
The brain's reward system is designed to help us answer one crucial question: should I do this again? This effect isn't just limited to food. Activities like socializing, exercising, and even drug addiction also impact this system. But here's the problem: if the reward system is triggered too often, the brain starts to change. Over time, we can lose self-control, experience stronger cravings, and even need larger amounts of sugar to feel the same level of satisfaction. And yes, this applies to sugar just as it does to other addictive substances.
Dopamine, the key player in sugar addiction.
Dopamine works like a bell that rings every time we experience pleasure. But here's the catch: not all foods trigger large dopamine releases. Compare broccoli to ice cream. Broccoli barely stimulates dopamine, which is why kids tend to prefer sweets over vegetables. When we eat a balanced, nutritious diet, dopamine levels rise moderately. However, if we eat the same food every day, dopamine release decreases. This is the brain's natural way of encouraging us to seek a variety of foods to get enough nutrients. But if we replace healthy foods with sugar-rich foods, dopamine levels keep surging. The brain becomes hooked on the happiness sugar provides.
Should we stop eating sugar?
In some ways, sugar works similarly to drugs. The more we consume it, the stronger the urge to have more. This is why so many people struggle to cut back on sweets. While sugar isn't as addictive as substances like alcohol or nicotine, excessive consumption can create a domino effect in the brain, making cravings harder to control.
Can sugar be addictive?
Of course not. A little sugar isn't harmful. But if we consume it too often, our brains can get trapped in a craving cycle. The key is to manage sugar intake wisely. Eating a slice of cake once in a while, no problem. But if you're reaching for sweets every day, it might be time to start cutting back. Now that you know how sugar affects the brain, what do you think? Have you ever struggled to resist sugary foods? Share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to Chibypedia for more fascinating content. See you in the next video.